I made the painting myself. Took me 3 months. Nights after work, weekends when my wife visited her sister, early mornings before the shop opened. I worked on it in the garage, behind the toolboxes and oil drums, where nobody would ask questions. Canvas stretched tight on a frame I built from scrap wood. Oils I bought 1 tube at a time so the cost wouldn't show up all at once on our account. The subject was simple: a winter field at dawn, bare trees against a pink sky, snow catching the first light. Nothing fancy. Nothing that screamed, "Look at me." Just honest work. I wrapped it in brown paper and tied it with string. Wrote her name on the tag in my careful handwriting. Emma, my daughter. Christmas morning, I carried it into her house like I was carrying something fragile. Which I was, I suppose. Not the painting, something else. Emma lives in one of those modern places that looks like it was designed by someone who hates comfort. All glass and sharp corners, white furniture that nobody's allowed to sit on. The kind of house that makes you feel like you're trespassing even when you're invited. She opened the door wearing cashmere. Her husband stood behind her, checking his phone. "Dad." She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "You're early." Traffic was light. "Well, come in. Careful with your boots." I left my boots by the door, walked across their pristine floor in my socks, which had a hole in the left toe. I'd meant to throw them out. Forgot. The living room was full of people I didn't know. Emma's friends, women in designer clothes holding champagne flutes at 10 in the morning, men in expensive sweaters discussing stock portfolios. The Christmas tree in the corner looked like it cost more than my truck. My wife, Margaret, sat on the couch, looking calm. She's always calm. It's unnerving sometimes. "Tom." She nodded at me. "They already opened the expensive gifts." I sat beside her, set the painting down carefully. Emma floated through the room, laughing at something one of her friends said. Her husband, Derek, poured himself scotch. Nobody offered me anything. After a while, Emma remembered I existed. "Oh, Dad brought something." She picked up my package, shook it slightly. "What's this?" "Open it and see." The room went quiet, everyone watching. I felt sweat prick the back of my neck. She tore the paper, not carefully, just ripped it away like it was garbage. The painting emerged. Morning light on snow, 3 months of work. Emma stared at it. Then she laughed. "Oh my God." She held it up. "Dad, did you make this?" "I did." "This is..." She looked at her friends. "This is so sad." One of the women giggled. A man in a cashmere sweater smirked. "Emma," Margaret said quietly. "No, seriously." Emma turned the painting around, showing it to everyone like it was evidence in a trial. "My dad thinks he's an artist now. He works at a garage, but sure, why not try painting?" Derek walked over, looked at it, snorted. "Dude, did you use house paint?" "Oil paint," I said. Could have fooled me. He took the painting from Emma, held it at arm's length. "I mean, it's something. Very folksy." The room erupted in polite laughter, the kind that's not really polite at all. Emma set the painting down on the floor, leaned it against the wall like trash waiting to be taken out. "Thanks, Dad. It's very thoughtful." She moved on, started opening other gifts, a designer handbag, a set of crystal glasses, things that mattered. I sat there for another hour. Nobody talked to me. Margaret held my hand once, squeezed it, let go. When we left, I glanced back. The painting was still on the floor. Someone had set an empty champagne bottle next to it. In the truck, Margaret didn't say anything for 5 miles. Then, "She's cruel. She's my daughter." "She's cruel," Margaret repeated, "and he's worse." I drove. The roads were icy. Salt crunched under the tires. "I heard them last week," Margaret said. "Emma and Derek, they were on speakerphone. They didn't know I was in the next room." "What did they say?" "They were laughing about you, about how you smell like motor oil, how embarrassing it is when you come to their parties. Derek called you the mechanic, like it's a slur. My hands tightened on the wheel. And Emma agreed, said she wishes you were more like her friends' fathers, lawyers, doctors, executives, people who matter. I matter, I said quietly. I know you do. We drove the rest of the way in silence. At home, I went straight to the garage. Not to work. Just to stand there in the cold and the smell of oil and metal. The space where I'd made the painting. Where I'd thought, stupidly, that I was making something that would mean something. Margaret appeared in the doorway. She was holding her phone. Tom, yeah. Emma posted a photo. She showed me. Instagram. My painting on the floor. Caption. When your dad tries to be Picasso but it's giving yard sale energy. Love him anyway. 300 likes already. I looked at Margaret. She looked back. What do you want to do? She asked. I didn't answer right away. I walked to my workbench, pulled out the folder I kept in the back. Old papers, records from when I was younger, before the shop, before Emma, before I became the mechanic. Tom? I apprenticed, I said. Did I ever tell you that? When I was 19, before I met you, before everything? No. Guy named Julian Voss, German painter, lived in Portland for a few years, took on students. I worked for him for 2 years, learned technique, color theory, composition. I pulled out a photo, me and Julian in his studio, both covered in paint. He went back to Germany, got famous. I got married, had a kid, needed steady money, opened the shop. Margaret took the photo, studied it. He's worth something now, she said. Yeah, his students are too, if anyone bothered to check. She understood immediately. Her eyes sharpened. The painting. It's still there, I said, leaning against her wall like garbage. You could get it back. I could. And then? I smiled. Not a nice smile. Then I teach my daughter what she threw away. Margaret nodded slowly, set the photo down. I'll make coffee, she said. This might take a while. As the story unfolds, hit the hype button, like, subscribe, and write in the comments. Would you forgive them or walk away? I drove to Emma's house at 6 in the morning. The sun wasn't up yet. Her neighborhood was silent except for the hiss of sprinklers on frozen lawns. I rang the doorbell, waited. Derek answered. He was in a bathrobe that probably cost more than my mortgage payment. His hair was messy. He looked annoyed. Tom, it's 6 a.m. I know, I need to get something I left. He rubbed his face. Can't this wait? No. He stared at me. I stared back. Finally, he stepped aside. The house was dark. I found my way to the living room. The painting was exactly where Emma had left it. Someone had set a coffee mug on the floor next to it. There was a ring stain on the frame. I picked it up carefully, checked for damage. The canvas was fine. The frame was scuffed but functional. Taking your art back? Derek leaned against the doorway, smirking. Yeah. Probably for the best. Doesn't really fit our aesthetic. I tucked the painting under my arm, looked at him. Really looked. Noticed the expensive robe, the designer slippers, the watch on his wrist that cost more than I made in 6 months. Noticed the way he looked at me like I was something stuck to his shoe. Derek. Yeah? You ever work with your hands? He blinked. What? Physical work. Building something, fixing something, getting dirty. I run a business, Tom. I work with my mind. Right. I headed for the door. Must be nice. It is, actually. At the door, I stopped, turned back. How's the investment property going? The one you were talking about at Thanksgiving. His expression changed, just slightly. A flicker of something. It's in development. Need land for that, don't you? We're working on it. I nodded, walked out. In the truck, I set the painting carefully on the passenger seat, started the engine, sat there for a moment in the cold dawn light. My phone buzzed, text from Margaret. Get it? Got it. Good, I made calls. Gallery opens at 9. I smiled. Margaret isn't just calm, she's strategic. When I told her my plan last night, she didn't question it. She picked up her phone and started working. By midnight, she'd found 3 galleries in Boston. By 2 a.m., she'd narrowed it to 1. By 4, she'd made an appointment. "How'd you manage that?" I'd asked. I told them I had something Julian Voss touched. They're very interested. I never said he touched it. No. But you studied under him, used his techniques. That's close enough for an appraisal. Now, sitting in my truck, I pulled out of Emma's neighborhood, headed for the highway. Boston was 2 hours away. The roads were empty. I drove fast, not reckless, just purposeful. The painting sat beside me like a passenger. I glanced at it occasionally, tried to see what they saw. Yard sale energy, trash, something embarrassing. I saw 3 months of work, early mornings and late nights, the satisfaction of mixing colors until they matched what I saw in my head. The meditation of brush on canvas, the hope that maybe, just maybe, my daughter would see it and understand that I was more than a mechanic. Stupid hope. By the time I hit Boston, the sun was fully up. The city gleamed, glass towers catching light, people in suits hurrying to important meetings, a world I'd never been part of. The gallery was in the back bay, narrow brownstone sandwiched between luxury apartments, discreet brass plaque by the door, Ashworth Fine Art. I parked, carried the painting inside. The interior was cool and quiet, white walls, soft lighting. A woman in black sat at a desk, typing on a computer that looked like it belonged in a spaceship. "Help you?" "I have an appointment, Tom Brennan." She checked her screen, nodded. "Mr. Ashworth is expecting you. 3rd floor." The elevator was small and slow. I watched the numbers climb, felt my pulse quicken. 3rd floor. The doors opened onto a single room, more white walls, paintings hung in perfect rows. A man stood in the center examining something on an easel. He was 60 maybe, gray hair, expensive glasses. "Mr. Brennan?" He turned, extended a hand. "Richard Ashworth." We shook. His grip was firm. "Your wife said you studied under Julian Voss." "I did. 2 years. Portland, late 70s. "Interesting." He gestured to the easel. "May I?" I unwrapped the painting, set it carefully on the stand. Ashworth stepped back, tilted his head, moved closer, stepped back again. He didn't say anything for a long time. "Technique is solid," he finally murmured. "Color palette is restrained but effective. Composition—" He leaned in. "This is very good, Mr. Brennan." "Thank you." "You said you studied under Voss?" "Yes." "Can you prove it?" I pulled out the folder. The photo. Documentation from Julian's studio. A letter of recommendation Julian wrote when I left. I'd kept it all these years, buried in a drawer. Ashworth examined everything carefully, set it down, looked at the painting again. "Julian Voss is having a moment right now. Retrospective at the Museum of Modern Art. His work is selling for 6 figures. And his students—" He paused. "His students are becoming collectible. I didn't know that. Most don't. The art world is insular, but provenance matters. And this—" He tapped the painting lightly. "This has provenance." "What's it worth?" Ashworth smiled. "Let's find out. I'd like to put this in our next auction. 3 weeks, if you're willing." "I'm willing." "Excellent." He pulled out paperwork, started writing. "I'll need your signature. Standard commission, 20%. I signed. Didn't hesitate. "I'll have our photographer document this. We'll include your backstory in the catalog. Study under Julian Voss, working-class artist. Very compelling narrative." "How much do you think it'll go for?" He considered. "Conservative estimate? 40 to 60,000. My hand stopped moving. "That's conservative?" "Julian Voss students have sold for over 200,000. But this is your first time on the market. We'll start modest, build your reputation." He smiled. Mr. Brennan, you're about to become a known artist. I drove home in a daze, called Margaret from the road. They're auctioning it. Good. They think it'll sell for 40,000, maybe more. Silence on the line. Then, well, yeah. Are you going to tell Emma? I thought about that. About the photo on Instagram, about Derek's smirk, about 300 people liking a post that mocked 3 months of my work. No, I said, I'm not going to tell Emma. What are you going to do? I'm going to wait. 3 weeks, 21 days. I went to work every day, fixed cars, changed oil, replaced brake pads, acted like nothing was different. But something was different. I felt it. A coiling tension in my chest, anticipation. Margaret watched me with knowing eyes, didn't say anything, just waited. Emma called once, asked if I could lend her money. $5,000. Some business opportunity Derek wanted to invest in. I don't have $5,000, I said. Dad, please, it's important. Emma, I'm a mechanic. I don't have that kind of money lying around. You have savings. That's for retirement. She sighed, heavy, disappointed. Fine, whatever. I'll figure it out. She hung up. I stood there holding my phone, thinking about that word. Whatever. Like I was a minor inconvenience. Like I didn't matter. Margaret appeared beside me. What did she want? Money. Did you give it to her? No. Good. She kissed my cheek. 3 more weeks. The auction was on a Friday night. Invitation only. Margaret and I drove to Boston in our best clothes. My suit was 15 years old. Her dress was older. We looked like exactly what we were, working people pretending to belong. The gallery was packed. People in expensive clothes drinking expensive wine. I recognized some faces from art magazines. Critics. Collectors. People who decided what mattered. We sat in the back. Quiet. The auctioneer took the stage, started working through the lots. Paintings, sculptures, photographs. Prices climbed into the thousands, then tens of thousands. Then lot 47. Next, we have a remarkable piece from a newly discovered student of Julian Voss. Tom Brennan studied under Voss in the late 70s before pursuing other work. This is his first piece to reach market. Morning field. Oil on canvas. We'll open bidding at $10,000. The screen behind the auctioneer lit up. My painting. Huge. Beautiful. 10,000, someone called. 15. 20. The numbers climbed. I stopped breathing. 40,000. 50. 60. Margaret gripped my hand. Her palm was sweating. 80,000. 90. $100,000. The auctioneer's voice was excited now. We have 100,000. Do I hear 110? Silence. 100,000 going once. Silence. Going twice. I wanted to close my eyes. Couldn't. Sold. Lot 47. $100,000. The room applauded. Polite. Professional. The auctioneer moved on. I sat there. Couldn't move. Margaret leaned close. Whispered, "Now what?" I pulled out my phone. Opened Instagram. Found Emma's account. Took a screenshot of the auction results. The painting. The price. Posted it. Caption. Remember this? The trash I made? Just sold for $100,000. Thanks for believing in me, sweetie. Tagged Emma. Hit post. Put my phone away. Now, I said. We wait. We drove to Emma's house. 4 a.m. The lights were off. I rang the doorbell. Pounded on the door. Nothing. I called her phone. Nothing. She's not here, Margaret said. Or she's ignoring us. Where would she go? I thought. Then I knew. Her friend's house. Rebecca. The one who didn't sleep with Derek. You know where she lives? Mills gave me addresses, everyone's addresses. We drove across town. Rebecca lived in a condo complex. 2nd floor. I pounded on her door. A light came on. The door opened. Rebecca stood there in pajamas, hair messy, annoyed. Then she saw my face. Mr. Brennan? Where's Emma? She's sleeping. Wake her up. It's 4 in the morning. I don't care. Wake her up now. Something in my voice made her step back. Okay, just wait here. 2 minutes later, Emma appeared. She looked terrible. Red eyes, pale, thin. Dad? What's wrong? Derek's going to steal your trust fund, the money Grandpa left you. She blinked. What? The power of attorney you signed. He's using it to withdraw $50,000 from your trust account, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. He told me himself. 30 minutes ago. He's on my property right now with 2 guys, trying to figure out how to steal my land. And when that didn't work, he told me about the money. He's taking it and running. Emma's face went white. No. Yes. He said that money was for his business, to save us. He said, he lied. He's taking it and disappearing, leaving you with nothing. She sat down hard on Rebecca's couch, started crying, not soft crying, sobbing. Emma. I knelt in front of her. You need to revoke that power of attorney, right now, before the bank opens. How? We go to the bank, first thing. You tell them in person. They'll flag the account. What if Derek gets there first? Then we make sure he doesn't. Rebecca spoke up. I'll call the bank. I know the manager. I'll explain it's an emergency. Do it, I said. Emma looked up at me. Why are you helping me? I thought you hated me. I don't hate you. I'm disappointed in you. There's a difference. I'm so sorry, Dad. About everything. The painting, the money, the things I said. I'm so sorry. I know. I don't know how to fix this. You fix it by leaving him. By starting over. By learning. She nodded, wiped her face. Okay. We sat in Rebecca's living room until 6 a.m. Then we drove to the bank, waited in the parking lot until it opened at 8. The manager met us at the door. Rebecca had called ahead. She'd explained everything. Ms. Hartwell, I need you to fill out this form. It revokes any power of attorney on your accounts. Emma's hand shook as she signed. Is this enough? It will be once I enter it into the system, but you should also close the account entirely. Transfer the funds somewhere Derek can't access. Can I do that now? Yes. It took an hour. Paperwork. Signatures. Transfers. By 9:30, the account was empty. The money was in a new account. Only Emma's name. Derek showed up at 9:45, walked in confident, smiled at the teller. I'd like to make a withdrawal. Account number... He rattled off numbers. The teller checked. Frowned. I'm sorry, sir, this account has been closed. What? The account was closed this morning. That's not possible. I'm showing it right here. Closed at 8:47 a.m. Where did the money go? I can't disclose that information to you, sir. I have power of attorney. That power of attorney was revoked at 8:15 this morning. Derek's face went red, then white. He looked around, saw me sitting in the waiting area, Emma beside me. You. I stood. Me. He walked over, shaking with rage. You did this. No, Emma did this. He looked at Emma. You? I revoked the power of attorney, Derek, and I closed the account. That money is mine. From my grandfather, you can't have it. We needed that money. You needed that money. To run away. To abandon me. Emma, Dad told me everything, what you said, what you're planning. You're done, Derek. I'm done? You're the one who's done. Without me, you're nothing. Maybe, but at least I won't be broke and alone like you. He stared at her, tried to find words, couldn't. Finally, he turned to me. This isn't over. Yes, it is. I still have options. No, you don't. Your business is bankrupt. Your investors are gone. Your reputation is destroyed. Your marriage is over. You have nothing, and you're never getting my land. I'll find a way. No, you won't, because I'm going to make sure you can't. I pulled out my phone, showed him a video. This is from last night. You and 2 guys trespassing on my property, talking about fraud, admitting to coercion, Mills recorded everything. Derek's expression collapsed. You recorded me? I documented everything. The attempted theft, the threats, the trespassing. I have it all. And if you come near me, my property, or my family again, I'm giving it to the police and the State Bar Association. You're bluffing. Try me. He looked at Emma one more time. I hope you're happy. You just destroyed us both. No, Emma said. You destroyed us. Dad just made sure I didn't go down with you. Derek walked out. Didn't look back. Emma collapsed against me. What do I do now? Now you file for divorce. You get a lawyer. You protect yourself. I don't have money for a lawyer. I'll pay for it. The painting money. That's what it's for. Dad, Emma, I'm still angry, and it's going to take time for us to fix this. But you're my daughter. I'm not going to let you drown. She cried. I held her. Margaret held both of us. Outside, through the bank window, I watched Derek get in his car. Sit there, not moving, just staring at nothing. Then he started the car, drove away. It's over, Margaret said. Not yet, I replied. Because I knew Derek, and I knew desperate men, and I knew this wasn't over until he was completely, irrevocably finished. Mills called that afternoon. Derek's packing, loading boxes into his car. Looks like he's leaving town. Let him. You're sure? I'm sure. Let him run. Let him start over somewhere else, far away from here. What about the people he owes money to? They'll find him eventually. That's not my problem. Tom, this is big. You destroyed a man's entire life. He destroyed his own life. I just accelerated the process. Are you okay with that? I thought about it. About Derek's face in the bank. About Emma sobbing in my arms. About the trust fund I'd saved. About the land that was still mine. Yeah, I said. I'm okay with that. That night, Emma stayed at our house, slept in her old room. Margaret made dinner. We sat together at the kitchen table like we hadn't done in years. What's going to happen to the house? Emma asked. Foreclosure, probably, unless you can make the payments. I can't. The second mortgage is too much. Then you'll lose it, but you'll survive. Where will I go? Here, for now, until you figure things out. I don't deserve this. Your help, after everything I did. No, I agreed. You don't. But I'm giving it anyway. Because that's what fathers do. Even when their daughters break their hearts. She cried again. I let her. Later, Margaret and I sat on the porch. Cold night. Clear stars. Is it over? She asked. Almost. What's left? I need to make sure Derek's really gone. I need to make sure Emma's protected. I need to make sure the land is secure. I paused. And I need to finish something. What? The painting. The one that started this. I'm going to make another one. Why? Because I'm an artist, and artists create. That's what we do. She smiled. Are you going to sell this one too? Maybe. Or maybe I'll keep it. Haven't decided. What will you paint? I looked out at the dark yard, the snow falling, the quiet. Justice, I said. I'm going to paint justice. Derek left town on Thursday. Mills confirmed it. Car loaded with boxes, heading south. No destination known. Should I follow him? Mills asked. No, we're done. You're sure? I'm sure. Send me your final bill. It's already in your email. I paid it, closed that chapter. Emma moved her things out of the house before the bank could claim it. Not much to move. Most of it was Derek's. Expensive furniture, expensive art, expensive everything. She took her clothes, some photos, her grandmother's jewelry. That's it? I asked. That's it. Everything else was just stuff. We loaded it into my truck, drove it to our house, set up her old room again. That weekend, Reeves called. Derek filed for bankruptcy, Chapter 7. Everything's gone. What about the people he owed money to? They'll get pennies on the dollar, not your problem. Good. Tom, I have to ask. Are you satisfied? What do you mean? You set out to destroy him. You succeeded. His business is gone. His marriage is over. His reputation is ruined. He's bankrupt and on the run. Is that enough? Or do you want more? I thought about that. I want him to understand what he took from me. I want him to feel what I felt when he laughed at my painting, when he called me small, when he tried to steal my land, when he turned my daughter against me. Does he understand? I don't know, but I don't need him to. I just need him gone. Then it's over. Yeah, it's over. But it wasn't. Not quite. On Monday, I got a call from an unknown number. I almost didn't answer. But something made me pick up. Tom? It was Derek. How'd you get this number? I never deleted it. He sounded tired, defeated. I'm calling to apologize. Little late for that. I know, but I need to say it. You were right. About everything. I was arrogant, cruel. I treated you like you didn't matter, and I paid the price. Where are you? Georgia. Living in a motel, working at a restaurant, washing dishes. Good. You really hate me, don't you? I don't hate you, Derek. I just don't care about you anymore. Silence. Emma filed for divorce, he said. I know. She's not asking for anything, just wants it done. Smart. Are you taking care of her? That's none of your business. I loved her, you know. At first, before everything got complicated. Love isn't enough. You have to respect people too. And you didn't respect anyone. Not her, not me, not yourself. I know that now. Good. Learn from it. Tom? Yeah? For what it's worth, the painting was beautiful. I should have said that at Christmas. It was beautiful, and you're talented, and I was too stupid to see it. I didn't respond. I'm sorry, he said. For everything. He hung up. I stood there holding my phone, feeling nothing. No satisfaction, no anger, no vindication, just emptiness where something had been. Margaret appeared beside me. Derek? Yeah. What did he want? To apologize. Did you accept it? I didn't say anything. Do you feel better? I don't feel anything. She took my hand. That's normal. Revenge is satisfying in the moment, but afterwards it's just hollow. Was it worth it? That's for you to decide. I thought about everything. The auction, the exposure, the destruction of Derek's life, Emma's pain, the money saved, the land protected, the justice served. Yeah, I said finally. It was worth it. Emma's divorce was finalized in March, quick, uncontested. Derek signed everything without arguing. He had nothing left to fight with anyway. Emma got a job, receptionist at a dental office, not glamorous, but steady. She moved into an apartment in April, small, cheap, hers. I helped her move in, carried boxes up 3 flights of stairs, set up her furniture, the furniture from our garage, old stuff we'd been storing for years. This is weird, she said, looking around. What is? Starting over at 32, living like I'm in college again, single, broke, working a regular job. It's honest work. I know. It just feels small. I looked at her. Small isn't bad, Emma. Small is real. Small is where you learn who you are and what matters. Is that why you stayed in the garage, fixing cars, being small? I stayed in the garage because I loved the work, because it was honest, because I was good at it, and because I knew who I was there. I don't know who I am anymore. Then you'll figure it out. That's what starting over means. She nodded. Thanks for helping me, Dad. I know I don't deserve it. Nobody deserves anything. We just do the best we can with what we have. I left her there in her small apartment, drove home, found Margaret in the kitchen. How is she? Scared, lost, but she'll be okay. Will you be okay? What do you mean? All this anger, Tom, this need for revenge, it consumed you for months. Now it's over. What are you going to do with all that energy? I hadn't thought about it, but she was right. For months, I'd been focused, driven, purpose burning through me like fuel. Now the fire was out, and I felt cold. "I'm going to paint," I said. "Another painting? A series, 10 paintings, different subjects, different techniques, everything I learned from Julian, everything I never had time to explore." "Will you sell them?" "Maybe. If they're good, if anyone wants them." "They'll want them. You're Tom Brennan now, the artist who sold a painting for 6 figures, the working-class genius, the comeback story." I hate that label. But it's true, and it sells paintings. I smiled. "You're very practical. Someone has to be." I started painting the next day, set up in the garage again. Canvas, oils, brushes, the familiar smell, the meditation of work. I painted for 6 hours, lost track of time, forgot to eat, just worked. When I finally stepped back, I had something, not finished, but started, a foundation. Margaret appeared with a sandwich. "What is it?" "A lake at dawn, snow on the banks, trees catching first light." "It's beautiful." "It's mine." "Yes, it is." I kept painting, every day after work, weekends, early mornings. The series grew. 10 paintings became 12, then 15. By summer, I had 20 paintings. All different. All mine. Reeves connected me with a gallery in New York. Serious place. The kind where they don't put price tags on art because if you have to ask, you can't afford it. They wanted 12 paintings for a show. September opening. They promised exposure, collectors, media attention. I agreed. Emma came to the opening, Margaret beside her, both of them dressed nicely, proud. The gallery was packed, people in expensive clothes holding wine glasses, critics taking notes, collectors studying my work with serious expressions. My paintings hung on white walls, lit perfectly, each one telling a story, snow and light and loneliness and hope. I stood in the corner, watching, listening. People said things. Remarkable use of color. Deceptively simple compositions. The emotional weight is extraordinary. They didn't know about Emma, about Derek, about the revenge, about the darkness that had driven me to create. They just saw beauty, and that was enough. By the end of the night, 8 paintings had sold, prices ranging from $50,000 to $80,000. Total, almost $500,000. Emma hugged me. "I'm so proud of you, Dad. Thanks. I'm sorry I didn't see it before. Your talent, your passion. I'm sorry I called it trash." "I know. Can you forgive me?" I looked at her. Really looked. Saw the young woman she'd become, the mistakes she'd made, the growth she was attempting. "I'm working on it," I said, and I meant it. The snow came early that year, December 1st, 3 inches overnight. I woke to a white world, quiet and clean. Margaret was already up, making coffee. She smiled when she saw me. "Big day." "Is it?" "The newspaper's running the article about your show. Front page of the arts section." "You sure?" "I have sources." I poured coffee, sat at the kitchen table, waited. The paper arrived at 7. Margaret brought it in, opened it to the arts section. There I was, full-color photo, standing next to one of my paintings. The headline, "From Garage to Gallery, Tom Brennan's Unlikely Triumph." The article was long, detailed. It covered everything. My apprenticeship with Julian Voss, my years working as a mechanic, the Christmas painting that sold for $100,000, the series that followed, the New York show, the success. It also mentioned Emma. Briefly. Brennan's daughter initially dismissed his work, leading to a family estrangement. They have since reconciled. Reconciled was a strong word. We were working on it. Slowly. Carefully. But we were working on it. I finished reading, set the paper down, looked at Margaret. "What do you think?" she asked. "I think I'm done." "Done painting?" "Done with revenge, done with anger, done with proving things to people who don't matter." "What about people who do matter?" Emma matters. You matter. The work matters. Everything else is just noise. She kissed me. Good answer. That afternoon, Emma called. Did you see the article? I did. They called you an unlikely triumph. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Dad, I was thinking about the money. From the paintings, you've made almost $600,000 now, right? About that. What are you going to do with it? Some of it's already spoken for. Your lawyer fees, setting up your apartment, emergency fund for you. Dad, you don't have to. I know I don't have to. I want to. But the rest? I paused. I'm thinking about buying more land. More land? Yeah. The lot next to mine at the lake. It's for sale. 30 acres. Perfect for preserving, keeping it natural, making sure nobody builds on it. That sounds like you. What does? Protecting something, making sure it stays pure. Maybe. Silence for a moment. Then, Dad? Yeah? Thank you. For everything. For saving the trust fund. For helping me leave Derek. For not giving up on me. Emma, I'm your father. I'll never give up on you. Even when I'm angry. Even when you hurt me. I'll never give up. She was crying. I love you, Dad. I love you too. We hung up. Margaret appeared beside me. That sounded good. It was. Are you really going to buy that land? Yeah, I think I am. What about Derek? What if he finds out you're expanding your property? He won't care. He's gone. Started over. That chapter's closed. And if it's not? Then I'll handle it. But I don't think it will be. Some people learn, some people change. Maybe he's one of them. You're being very generous. I'm being realistic. Revenge feels good in the moment, but it doesn't last, and it doesn't solve anything. Emma's still rebuilding. I'm still rebuilding our relationship. Derek's still broken. Nothing I did fixed anything. It just balanced the scales. Do you regret it? No, but I'm done with it. Good. That night, I went to the garage, not to paint, just to stand there, to remember. The space where I'd made the first painting, the painting that started everything, the gift that became a weapon, the trash that became treasure. I thought about Derek, about where he was now, washing dishes in Georgia, starting over, learning, maybe, or maybe not. I thought about Emma, about her small apartment, her regular job, her slow rebuilding. I thought about Margaret, about her calm strength, her strategic mind, her unwavering support. And I thought about myself, about who I'd become, the mechanic who became an artist, the father who became a villain, the man who learned that revenge was hollow, but justice was necessary. My phone buzzed. Text from Mills. Derek's still in Georgia, staying out of trouble. Thought you'd want to know. I typed back, thanks, but I don't need updates anymore. You sure? I'm sure. We're done. I put my phone away, looked around the garage one more time. Then I turned off the light and went inside. Margaret was waiting. Everything okay? Everything's okay. What were you doing out there? Saying goodbye. To what? To the anger, to the revenge, to the person I was before all this started. Who are you now? I'm still figuring that out, but I think I'm someone better. She smiled. I think so too. The next day was Saturday, clear and cold. I drove to the lake property, the land that had started everything, the land Derek had tried to steal, the land that was mine. I walked through the snow, looked at the frozen lake, the bare trees, the winter light. It was beautiful, peaceful, mine. I pulled out my phone, called the realtor about the adjacent lot, made an offer, cash, full price, no negotiations. They accepted immediately. By Monday, I owned 70 acres of lakefront property, protected, preserved, safe. Emma called when she heard. You really did it? I really did it. That's a lot of land, Dad. It is. But it's worth protecting. What are you going to do with it? Nothing. That's the point. I'm going to leave it alone. Let it be wild. Let it be free. That's beautiful. Thanks. Dad? Yeah? I'm learning to paint. I bought supplies. I'm not good yet. But I'm trying. My throat tightened. That's good, Emma. That's really good. Will you teach me? Yeah, I'll teach you. When? Whenever you want. We have time now. Okay, I'd like that. We hung up. I stood there at the lake. Snow falling, light fading, the world quiet and perfect. And I realized something. This wasn't the end. This was the beginning of something new, something better. I walked back to my truck, drove home, found Margaret in the kitchen making dinner. How's the land? Perfect. How are you? Better. Good. We ate dinner, talked about nothing important, watched the snow fall outside the window. Later, I went to the garage, set up a fresh canvas, mixed colors, picked up a brush, and I started painting again. Not revenge, not anger, not justice, just beauty, just truth, just art. Because that's what I am. An artist, a father, a man who learned that destroying someone else doesn't fix what's broken inside you. Only creating something new can do that. The painting took shape slowly. A winter field, bare trees, first light touching snow, like the first painting, but different, better, because I was different, better. The brush moved, the colors blended, the image emerged, and for the first time in a long time, I felt at peace. 3 weeks later, on a cold January morning, Derek's car appeared in my driveway. I saw it from the kitchen window, sat there for a moment, considered calling the police, decided against it. I walked outside. Derek was standing by his car. He looked different, thinner, older, worn down. Tom, he said. Derek, I know I shouldn't be here, but I needed to talk to you, face to face. About what? About what I did. About what you did. About everything. I have nothing to say to you. I know, but I need to say something to you. He stepped forward. You were right, about all of it. I was arrogant, stupid, cruel. I destroyed my own life, and I blamed you for it. But it wasn't your fault, it was mine. I know. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I don't deserve it. I'm just asking for, I don't know, closure maybe. There is no closure, Derek. There's just what happened, and what happens next. What happens next? You stay away from me. You stay away from Emma. You stay away from my family and my property. You start over somewhere else. You learn from your mistakes. You become someone better. Or you don't. But either way, you do it somewhere else. He nodded slowly. That's fair. Is there anything else? Just one thing. He pulled something from his pocket. An envelope. This is for Emma. It's not much. Just $2,000. Every dollar I've saved from washing dishes. I know it doesn't come close to what I took from her, but it's a start. I'll give it to her. Tell her I'm sorry. Tell her she deserved better. Tell her... He paused. Tell her she was always too good for me. I will. He got back in his car, started the engine, rolled down the window. Tom? Yeah? That painting. The first one. The one I called trash. It really was beautiful. I wish I'd been smart enough to see it. Me too. He drove away. I stood there holding the envelope, watching his taillights disappear down the road. Margaret appeared beside me. Was that Derek? Yeah. What did he want? To apologize, and to give Emma some money. Are you going to give it to her? Yeah. It's hers. Do you think he's changed? I thought about that. About the worn-down man who used to be arrogant. About the dishwasher who used to be an entrepreneur. About the person trying to rebuild from nothing. I don't know, I said, but it's not my problem anymore. We walked back inside. I called Emma, told her about Derek, about the money, about the apology. She was quiet for a long time. Then, Is he okay? He's surviving. Good. I don't want him to suffer. I just want him to be somewhere else. He is, and he will be. Are you okay, Dad? Yeah, I'm okay. Better than okay, actually. Me too, I'm coming over tomorrow to paint. You promised to teach me. I remember. I'll be ready. Love you, Dad. Love you too. I hung up, set the envelope on the counter, looked at Margaret. It's really over now, isn't it? She asked. Yeah, it's really over. No more revenge, no more anger, no more destruction. Just painting, just family, just living. She kissed me. Good. That night, I finished the winter field painting, signed my name in the corner. Tom Brennan, artist, set the brush down, stepped back, looked at what I'd created. It was beautiful, honest, mine. And it would never be called trash again. Not by anyone who mattered. Because the people who matter, Emma, Margaret, myself, we understood now. We understood that beauty takes time, that talent can hide in unexpected places, that revenge is hollow, but justice is necessary, that families break and heal and break again, that forgiveness is slow and painful and worth it. And we understood that sometimes the greatest gift you can give someone isn't a painting or money or land. It's the truth, sharp and cold and necessary, the truth that actions have consequences, that cruelty gets repaid, that arrogance leads to ruin, that the people you underestimate are the ones who will destroy you, not with violence, not with crime, but with patience, with intelligence, with the systematic dismantling of everything you thought made you invincible. And when it's over, when the dust settles, when the wreckage is cleared away, they'll stand there in the ruins they helped create and say, "This wasn't revenge, this was education." And you'll understand, finally, too late, that the mechanic was never small. He was just waiting for the right moment to show you exactly who he was and what he could do. And by the time you realized your mistake, it was already over, just like it's over now, just like Derek learned, just like anyone will learn if they make the same mistake Emma and Derek made. They underestimated Tom Brennan, the mechanic, the father, the artist, and they paid the price.